Velete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Wonders they say shall never cease to happen. Are all in all the Savior, the Protector, the Unifier, the Messiah. General Abdurrahmani Chiani, the President of Niger, has brought to light what he describes as a highly coordinated, secretive military strategy designed by France to maintain its grip on West Africa. According to the President of Niger, General Abdurrahmani Chiani, the public announcements coming out of Paris regarding troop withdrawals and the downscaling of military bases are entirely misleading. He says that France is not leaving the continent. Instead, it is shifting from a visible, overt military presence to a highly sophisticated operation. The president explicitly named Chad, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Gabon as the primary territories where this new strategy is actively being deployed to bypass the political awareness of African citizens. According to the president of Niger, French President Emmanuel Macron recognized that the African continent has become deeply politically astute and will no longer tolerate visible military bases on their soil. To counter this rising tide of anti-colonial sentiment, the president says that Macron ordered one of his closest advisors, Jean-Marie Bockeley, to conduct an intensive study. The objective of this study was not to plan an actual exit, but to map out a strategy to convince the public that France forces are leaving, while systematically embedding them in covert strategic positions across the region.
Chad, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Gabon. Emmanuel Macron said to one of his advisors named Jean-Marie Bockel, come and study, calculate. The African citizens are very clever. Let's tell them we are withdrawing our soldiers, but we are not withdrawing our soldiers. Ooh, we will scare them. Now Emmanuel Macron gave an order to Jean-Marie Bockel, and he went and selected 2 soldiers. He is selecting those who will do this work. One is called David Pawlowski. This David Pawlowski, he served in a unit of heavy weapons known as artillery in French. He served for 68. But its name is also Artillery of Africa 78. Do you hear? No, it is stationed in Africa for training Africans. Such large guns are the ones that can reach 40 kilometers.
He did 78. He stayed in Mali.
He commanded this unit from 2019 to 2022. The second one was borrowed. He was called Paul Menon Berthe. He is like a person in command of a unit, but like an Air Force soldier working with aircraft. They are the ones given training there.
Yes.
He told them to get up and conduct research that could be used to make a wall mural since Africans are not clever. They came and conducted the research. On the 23rd of October, they returned his work and he came to arrest Emmanuel Macron. They gathered and discussed what we found on how to intimidate Africans, right? They said, let's tell them about Chad, Gabon, and Côte d'Ivoire. They didn't even mention Côte d'Ivoire, but we will reduce it for Senegal. But for Chad, we will reduce it and say we have 1,000 soldiers. 1,000. These also reached Niger and entered Chad, about 2,300. We kept doing it until they reached the border. They are 1,300. But they said all of Chad, according to the calculation at that time, those who went through Niger and went there, they reached about 10,000, including in the areas of Abéché, Faya Largeau, and N'Djamena or Fort Lamy.
They have about 10,000 soldiers.
For Niger, 1,300. It does not reach 11,300. They said they have 1,000. Among that 1,600 or 700 Chadians are seen moving. If they chat during the day, at night they return to the Chadian center. In the Chadian center, there are 500. I am making a bet for people to understand that this is just a scarecrow. Apart from this, there in Senegal, they said they would also reduce theirs to 300 or 350 to 300. They said Gabon should do the same to reduce. I said Côte d'Ivoire hasn't been mentioned, but you see, 2 weeks ago, they passed through a place called Korim to Rezimbi in Port Boué, and they said they returned to Côte d'Ivoire. So if they return to Côte d'Ivoire, where are the people inside? Yes. It's like you came and spent a year in my farm. Now, if I say to someone, leave my farm, you would say, here is your farm, I have left it for you. But your family and everything did not leave the farm. Inside. They returned with the intention of causing trouble and harm. They returned and did not leave.
They are in Côte d'Ivoire. Apart from these 4 countries, some new countries have divided where they will send soldiers.
The countries are Benin, even though they say there is nothing, there is. Since we said there is a special force, they said Benin has a special force. It was not brought to me, it was done cheaply, since it exists. They said it was done.
According to the president, the overall goal is to hide the soldiers in plain sight, ensuring French operational capabilities remain completely intact. The president also revealed that this operation is being managed by seasoned military personnel with deep roots in the region. He specifically points to David Poloski, the former commander of the 68th Army Artillery Regiment in the French Army, who has extensive operational experience from his deployment in Mali between 2019 and 2021. Alongside him, the president names Paul Maloche, a French officer tasked with coordinating Air Force and aviation assets for this hidden network. He also went ahead to say that these sky military figures completed their intelligence gathering and held a pivotal meeting with Emmanuel Macron on October 23rd to finalize the deployment of his covert framework against African sovereignty. When looking at the specific mechanics of this plan, the president of Niger provides a detailed breakdown of how France is allegedly operating inside Chad. He states that while France publicly agreed to reduce its visible military footprint to appease the local population, the internal directive is to maintain a permanent combat force of exactly 1,000 French soldiers. According to him, this force relies on a deceptive rotation system designed to shield the permanent presence from public scrutiny. The president also explains that out of these 1,000 personnel, a contingent of 600 to 700 soldiers are ordered to move out during the daytime to conduct active operations, making it appear as though troops are constantly on the move or transitioning out. However, the president states that under the cover of darkness, these same forces pull back into the main base, where a permanent corps of 500 highly trained elite special forces remain stationed at all times. According to the president, this rotating door system allows France to claim it has downsized its operation while keeping a highly lethal, permanent, full operational inside Chad. The president of Niger states that the exact same playbook is being utilized in Senegal and Gabon. In both nations, the official public narrative focuses heavily on troop drawn downs and structural handovers. However, the president revealed that the true numbers tell a very different story. According to him, the French military strategy of Senegal involves keeping a permanent, residual force of anywhere between 150 and 300 soldiers stationed indefinitely. He says that the situation in Gabon mirrors this approach perfectly, where public-facing operations are being scaled back purely for political cover, while the critical infrastructure and personnel needed to protect French geopolitical leverage remain completely untouched. He emphasizes that these adjustments are purely tactical maneuvers designed to lower the profile of foreign interventions without sacrificing military control. The illusion of sovereignty in Ivory Coast. One of the most critical exposures in the president's address concerns the Ivory Coast. He points directly to the highly publicized announcements surrounding the 43rd Marine Infantry Battalion, known as the 43rd Bima Base in Port Boat. The official narrative presented to the international community was that France was officially handing over this major base to the Ivorian military as a sign of respect for local sovereignty. The president of Niger completely rejects this narrative, calling it a total illusion. He asks a direct and fundamental question. If France is truly handing over control of the base, why are French military advisors, intelligence personnel, and operational equipment still locked inside the facility? To make this clear for everyday listeners, the president of Niger, all in all, uses a plain analogy. He says it is exactly like a stranger coming into your home, walking out to stand in your yard and loudly announce to all the neighbors that he has officially moved out of your property. Yet his family, his furniture, and all his private belongings are still locked securely inside your bedrooms. According to him, France has absolutely no intention of leaving the Ivory Coast. It has simply hidden its personnel behind the administrative paperwork of a base transfer. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Niger.